So I'm Yuri Bender of PWM magazine, and I'm with Anna Tutova, CEO of the Ukrainian startup Coinstagram. Hello, Anna.
Hello, Yuri.
Anna, you're from Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine. It's one of the most war-torn regions of the country since the attack by Russia. Do you feel this war provides inspiration for digital entrepreneurs such as yourself?
Yeah, unfortunately, we have quite a lot of sad reasons. The war in our country, and I'm especially from the area where it's the hottest point of the war, and there is quite a lot of destruction. My house was destroyed too. But I would say generally the war became some kind of inspiration for Ukrainians, and it pushed the unification of our nations and the strength of our spirit and to do something more. And as well, Ukraine have been always quite developed in terms of digital transformation and adoption of digital services. And we see this especially when a lot of Ukrainians move to Europe or somewhere abroad. And before, a lot of people thought that Europe is much greater than in Ukraine and that everything is much better in Europe. But then when they face the reality, it's completely different. And Europe, in terms of many countries in Europe, in terms of adoption of digital services, are quite behind Ukraine. And in Ukraine, we see a lot of other innovations. And with the war, we as well see started Diia. It's the first recognized by the country digital passport. So it was as well quite helpful during the war times when many people just lost their documents, their passports and their identities. So Diia is their only access to this digital identity, and when their digital passport or digital driver license are recognized to get the services within the country or as well to go abroad. This is quite great, and other countries as well now take our experience. Poland as well launched Diia in Poland. Estonia, which has been always known for quite big advancements in terms of government e-services, now as well takes the code of Diia to implement it in their country.
So there, Anna, that's been quite a vivid description of the digital relationship between the citizens and the government there. But Diia is a lot more than that, because Diia is also a virtual city which brings together investors and startups such as your own, Western private equity funds with Ukrainian startups. Do you think this will attract to a broader international audience the opportunities available for investment in Ukraine into ventures being created by young people such as yourself?
Yeah, I think it's quite a great initiative to launch this legal and tax beneficial environment as Diia City. So I think for now there are more than 500 companies which set up there. There are many Ukrainian companies like Rosetka, Monobank, Epam, Luxoft, and as well we see some international companies registering there, for example as Samsung. The tax regime, I wouldn't say that the taxes are super low in some countries, like for example in UAE there is zero tax, but now they plan to implement like 5-6% tax for businesses. But still it's quite competitive. It's 18% tax. And it's quite competitive in comparison to a lot of other digital parks in other countries. So I think it would attract more businesses. And as well, we have another great opportunities as e-residentship. So the law became valid. The law was adopted last year, but it became valid since April this year. And it allows foreigners who are not the residents of Ukraine register online and to become to register as private entrepreneurs and as well to get their bank account. And this is much more beneficial in terms of taxes. So if their annual income is less than around, in terms of a USD equivalent, it's now around $211,000. If it is less, then they should pay 5% tax, and if it is more than that, they should pay 15% tax, and I think it's super competitive, and as well it looks the same as what Estonia did, so I think it would attract quite a lot of entrepreneurs to register. And as well, so currently it's possible to do online, so no need to come physically to Ukraine. So in future, after we win, I hope we will see more digital nomads, more entrepreneurs coming to Ukraine and making their business in Ukraine.
So you've described a very good route for entrepreneurs and investors to come into Ukraine virtually. Already coming in now, preparing for the situation after Ukraine's victory, after the war, for the rebuilding. But the two areas which you really specialize in are blockchain and also providing advice and mentoring to other startups. What sort of advice are you giving to digital startups in Ukraine who are trying to project their ventures internationally in the same way that you're doing?
I would say that my area, blockchain, digital assets space, has been always decentralized, and all these companies have been targeting not only Ukrainian local market, all of them, besides some Ukrainian-focused crypto exchanges, all the startups have been targeting global markets because this is the centralized internet, and you can generally be anywhere and conduct your business, and you can reach through via internet audience in any locations. Of course, sometimes you need to comply with some regulations and get licenses in certain countries, but generally it allows companies to operate anywhere and to get their community customers anywhere in the world. So I would say that 2/3 of Ukrainian startups, they all target international markets, not only local markets. And as well, even a lot of startups which target only local Ukrainian markets, they plan to expand in future, and especially with the war. And we have a lot of talent in Ukraine, especially tech talent, and this number is growing. We have now around 240,000 IT specialists in Ukraine, and as well, we have great government programs, some courses in partnership with some international organizations. And this number is expected to grow by 450,000 IT specialists by 2024, because as well a lot of people with the war, they lost their jobs, they had to relocate, so now they have to find new opportunities in their life. And Ukraine has been always known for its talents, and before there are a lot of outsourced development IT companies in Ukraine. Before it was known that some international companies came to cooperate with those outsourced companies, but now we see as well some product and service companies itself from Ukraine. And for example, back in 2018, we even didn't have any unicorns in Ukraine. Currently, we have a few unicorns, even one decacorn as Grammarly, and even from blockchain companies with Ukrainian roots, we have as well a lot of great projects. One unicorn company, Bitfury, they started back in 2011 as a Bitcoin mining company, and currently they provide as well some blockchain services, and they have been cooperating with the Ukrainian government, for example, for putting government data on a blockchain, and they have been cooperating with SATAM, the government agency which can provide bids for the state-owned seized property, so any Ukrainian can participate in this bid and get that property, and that is put on Exonium blockchain by Bitfury. And as well, we see some other examples of blockchain companies from Ukraine. For example, Near Protocols, their market cap is over $1 billion, and this is they have their own blockchain, and as well a variety of other projects which are using their protocol and building their projects on top of it. We have some other zkSync, it's a layer 2 blockchain solution which uses zero-knowledge proofs. So this is the technology which allows to prove this or that facts without revealing the full data, so it's quite important for the privacy. We have some other projects, for example, Dress6, They even they in metaverse and digital fashion space, and so they provide virtual clothing. And they partnered even with Meta, with the Facebook, and all the Meta avatars can get their clothes via this Dressix app. So we see immense developments, and especially blockchain and crypto space have been crucial for the help of Ukraine, especially during the beginning of the war, because even Ukrainian government started accepting cryptocurrency as donations directly into their wallets. And we see a number of charity organizations and crypto community united, as well Near Protocol, and some other companies created Unchained DAO to raise the funds for the humanitarian aid for Ukraine, and over $187 billion were raised in donations in crypto for Ukraine. So
yes. So I think it's very clear from what you've been saying, Anna. So Ukraine was previously an outsourcing hub, but now the ideas are very much being created in Ukraine. Very clear from your answers. Anna Turtova, CEO of Coinstagram, thank you very much.
Thank you, Yuri, too. It's a pleasure to be here in Monaco at this conference and promote our country and opportunities in Ukraine. And hope we will win soon, and our country will be quite prosperous, and we will see much more unicorns and successful companies.
Absolutely. Thank you.